Do you have that one room that needs a little life? A little decorating? You want to impress your wife with woodworking skills? Well, I made and installed walnut floating shelves, and you can too. So the other day my wife comes to me and says something about floating shelves. I'm not quite sure exactly what she was referring to, but we got to talk to her and find out the details. So follow me. Hey babe. You said something about floating shelves the other day. I wanted to find out the details.
Oh yeah, let me show you. Okay, so I was thinking that I want some floating shelves. I want 2 of them.
Okay.
And I want them to go on this wall right here. So I was thinking of having the bottom one be maybe 5 to 7 feet long, and then the one above it maybe about 4.5 feet.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I don't want to go with the cheap wood. I'm thinking of a little bit of a nicer wood.
Something like a hardwood?
Yeah.
Like a darker or a lighter color?
Wanting darker.
Darker, okay. So if we're going darker, we're going hardwood. I think our best choice would be walnut. Now we can look at other things, but if we go to the hardwood store and pick something out, maybe walnut-like, I think you're gonna be really happy with these shelves. Maybe after work someday you can meet me down there and we can pick those out?
Yeah, that'd be great. The sooner the better.
This sounds like a project that's gonna be fun, it's gonna look nice and make this room come to life. So let's do it.
All right.
I just arrived here to Diamond Hardwoods and Architectural Products. They sell a lot of hardwoods and specialize in that kind of stuff. I know they sell a lot of festival stuff. My wife showed me a picture on the internet that looked like walnut. I said, if that's what you want, then we can do it. It's a little more expensive. They charge about $9 per board foot, which I thought was reasonable compared to some of the other places I shopped around in the area. All right. Well, she should be arriving here pretty soon, and we'll check it out.
Pick this one and this one because I like the character, the design in it, and then I like the knots in these. So this can be, I'm thinking this one could be the bottom shelf, which is going to be longer, and then this one will be the top, which is going to be the shorter shelf. So I like these 2.
All right. Sounds great.
I like it.
Okay, let's go do it. We got the boards in here now, and I put a blue piece of tape on the side of the board that we're going to keep, and the other end we're going to cut off. This is going to be the 4.5 foot board, and the other one's going to be a 6.5 foot board. We looked at the tops and the bottoms, look at where the knots are to see what we like best, and we figured it all out. So we're going to get this project started. Let's go. Okay, so we have the pieces cut and we have all the sides sanded down to a 220 grit except for this side and this side of the shorter piece. The reason why is because we have some knots here. We have a knot actually over on this side as well, and on the back side quite a large knot. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill this in, if you can see here, with Starbond. This is an instant adhesive black glue. After we apply it in here, we're going to sand it down, and it's going to make it flush and really make those knots pop in a non-poppy sort of way. I put the Starbond on the knot on the other side of this, and it started seeping through this side. I had parchment paper here just in case there was some seepage. I didn't know if these knots were connected. It took a little while, but eventually it did seep through. So here's what we did. On this side, I taped it up. So that's going to secure any leakage through there. Fingers crossed. I'm going to fill this up and see how this goes. Sometimes you have to do it in stages. You can't do it all at once. So we'll let that soak in. We'll come back and do it again. Get this job done. So a few things about the Starbond glue. I'm learning this as I go. I did not get the accelerator thinking it would take not very long for it to dry, and then we could layer it upon layer and fill those holes or fill the gaps within the knot. But it takes a very long time. for the Starbond glue to dry. I don't know exact time, but there were times where it seemed like it was wet for more than 24 hours. Check with the Starbond people, and they're not sponsoring this post, but I still like their product, and I'm going to continue to use it and experiment with it and get better at using it. The accelerator is in the mail and on the way, but for the meantime, I have soaked this very much. I don't think it's completely full. I'm going to try sanding it and see what I got underneath. Probably use the glue with the accelerator, and then I can sand it much faster. So let's see how that goes. We put the black glue from Starbond along with this accelerator now, it's going to speed up the process. We're going to sand it and add layer by layer. Once it's all complete, I think it should look very nice. Now that we've filled the holes and sanded the boards, we need to put 4 brackets in this large shelf and 2 brackets in the smaller shelf. I've created this elaborate jig so that we can drill straight into the board. Without this, we might be off at an angle, so I created this to help us get it nice and straight. Have been routed for the anchors and are ready to go. All we need to do now is clean it with paint thinner. We're going to wipe it down with the rag, and we're going to apply this clear aerosol lacquer by Minwax. Now, this is a request based on what my wife's preferences are. She said she wanted the natural color of the wood to come out. She didn't want it real shiny like a polyurethane. She didn't want it the color change to a darker tint or anything like that. So after my research, I have found that this is going to be the best option. I used a test piece, approved it with her, put it on the wall. She says she likes it, so that's what we're going to do. The moment we've all been waiting for, we finally made it. We have marked off exactly where we want the shelves to be after much trial and tribulation, much debate and discord. We have what we want. So You're gonna follow us along as we put these anchors on that wall with a few little tricks up our sleeve. Hopefully it'll go well, and hopefully it'll look good in the end.
It will look great.
It'll look great.
Yeah.
You just saw me install this floating shelf in our den. The whole time, before, during, and after, I kept trying to tell myself, it looks good, yeah, it looks really good, but I didn't really like it, and neither did my wife. When she finally said she wasn't happy with the finish, I wasn't happy with the finish. It was flat and shiny throughout. Something about the spray just didn't work out. Now, I looked up on the internet, after I had already gotten into sanding this again, a hack with a heat gun that takes the dull spots out. Now, that's great if you have a heat gun, but I don't have a heat gun, and I don't want to buy a heat gun. And if I use a finish, it should look good. Maybe it's my fault. Apparently, moisture gets trapped, and that's where the dull spots are. So, I resanded it, and I'm going to apply this finish, clear wood finish from Deft, as a lacquer paint on, and we'll see if it works any better. In the end, it's going up on the wall, and I'm gonna like it either way. Well, that wraps up the floating shelf build. I think it turned out pretty good. What do you think?
I love it. It's exactly what I was hoping for. It's the exact color, and
I think it matches well with the blue wall, the brown and the blue. What do you think?
yes, exactly.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me put this together. I obviously needed her help and the help of some others to get it up there and mounted just right. I'm happy with the finish. The second finish was way better than the first. The painting on the lacquer was phenomenal, much better than the spray on. In the meantime, check on some of these videos that we might have somewhere on this screen that you can click on and watch more of Dude Sawdust. My name's Carpenter Logan. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you always know about any videos that come out in the future. You guys have a good one.